Hello people, welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe to the propaganda machine. So this is the game week 8 review show, and as we always do, we start with Arsenal. This was a very bad week for the Gunners, going down 2-0 against Bournemouth. Arsenal got their cherry popped sadly at the weekend, and the main talking point was the Saliba red card. Was it a red card? Was it not a red card? But if we're just honest with ourselves, we didn't do enough to win that game. We had the chance at 0-0 and we just didn't take it. Martinelli, he just didn't take the chance. And yeah, it was just a poor day at the office. I would get more into this, and as you probably saw, I didn't do the 5 takeaways. So I'm gonna just go straight into the 5 takeaways, and we'll probably cover most of what my thoughts are on the game. The first takeaway: defensive mistakes. William and William Saliba and Jakob Kivior. Between the two of them, they conspired to sell this game to Bournemouth. First of all, whether I agree with that red card or not, I'll give you my take on it. William Saliba had no reason to take the man out. He had absolutely no reason, and this kind of goes on to what I've been saying from the start of the season. He's looked a bit, there's one or two moments starting in that Wolves game, a bit shaky, and now it's just carried on. A lot of players have not started this season the way that we'd expect to see them later on in the season. And this, he only has himself to blame, really and truly. I'll get onto the ref at a later stage, but William Saliba, you let down your team. You let us down. And Jakob Kivior, earlier on in the week, I'm saying we need to sell Tomiyasu because he's always injured. But realistically, what use are you to us if you're going to be doing this? What use? Most times you come on, you don't give me a sense of certainty. There's no calmness in your play. You just look erratic. And the most simplest pass you can't make. I can't really see you having a future at this football club. So, yeah, but that's two defenders costing us the game. Even David Raya, he looked shaky as well. Gave away a penalty, tried to give away a goal as well. Lucky made up for it. So this was a very bad week at the office, and I think we might have conceded. Is it 10 goals now or 8 goals? However many goals, that's 2 against Man City, 2 against Leicester, and 2 against Bournemouth. That is bad. Shocking. We need to quickly sharpen up our act and sort ourselves out, because this is reminiscent of last season. Last season, I remember the start of the season, conceded 2 against Fulham, 2 against Tottenham, 2 against Chelsea. We kept conceding goals in twos, 2 against West Ham. So we need to just cut these mistakes out, get back to basics, get the clean sheets in, and not give opposition all these silly chances from our mistakes. The second takeaway: I have to go into the referees and VAR. So the referee in this game gave a yellow card. He gave a yellow card just like they gave Tosin a yellow card. The two incidents, they're not identical, but they are similar. If one goes, they both go. But me personally, I don't think either one is a red card. I've seen these so many times and they've never been given. When someone is so far away from goal, they never usually give red cards. But the problem is, when you're an Arsenal player, you can't take chances. You cannot take chances and give these referees and VAR decisions to make, because I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, we are on the wrong end of it. Yes, not all the time. There will be those odd occasions. You can point to the Odegaard, the handball at Anfield, but 9 times out of 10, we are on the wrong side of referee's decision. And right now, we need to start taking these things out of the referee's hands and start putting in better performances, because yesterday we just looked blunt. We never really looked like scoring. We probably could have played for another 90 minutes and we still wouldn't have scored. And that's my thoughts on that. I'm not going to go too deep on these referees. We just know what they are anyway. Now, the third takeaway. Martinelli, Trossard, Sterling. These attackers. So, this season, Bukayo Saka, I believe he's got 7 assists and 2 goals. That's 9 goal contributions. So we are relying heavily on him. Havertz, 4 goals, 1 assist. He chipping in, but the rest, I'm not their biggest fans. Martinelli, I've tried to give him the leeway. I've tried to back him. I've tried. I can't. I'm not even gonna flip flop and start saying, ah, he needs a left back. He needs this. No. Yes, his form has picked up, but I'm not interested in scoring the first goal against, say, a Leicester, or the second goal against the Southampton. My main interests are when we need you, when the game is 0-0, when our backs are against the wall. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna finish your dinner? Your what? Open goal. It was an open goal. Kepa gave him the whole of his right hand side of the goal. He literally gave him the whole right hand side, just like Onana gave for Mohamed Salah. And you did not do the basic. You hit it back in the direction where the keeper was, instead of just burying it in the open side of the goal. And that's it. I'm done. I'm done with you. I'm finished. Fuck that. I'm done. Had enough. I've had enough. We have Leandro Trossard. He scores goals in pivotal moments. But at the same time, in pivotal moments, he lets down our team. I think it was 2 seasons ago against Brighton. He gave away the goal, the second goal, and the Brighton player, I think it was Evan Ferguson or someone, they lobbed our goalkeeper, Aaron Ramsdale. You might not remember, but I remember. Yeah? Manchester City. just a number of games ago. What did you do? You decided to get yourself sent off for kicking the ball away stupidly. And now again today or Saturday, sorry. He's kicked the ball back for no reason. There was absolutely no reason to be playing that pass to William Saliba. You've given him a hospital pass and you've made him make an error. Another one. The two of you, you're not starters. This is why I can see Arteta, he's not sure why he wants to spend 80 million on Mudryk. That would have been a disaster because Trossard is twice the player of him. But one thing I do know is this summer we need to go big. We need to go big because the left-hand side of that attack, we can't be chopping and changing and thinking what's gonna happen. Saka's not available. Who are we gonna play? We need a killer on that left-hand side. Someone who will give us complete performances and also chip in with goals. And the player I believe we should be targeting is Kvaratskhelia. That's who we should have gone big for. We should have gone, you know what, Napoli? Here's 100 M's. We gave West Ham 100 million for Declan Rice. There's no way that we can't give 100 million to Napoli for Kvaratskhelia. We might have even got him cheaper. Who knows? But we need to go big on the forward because it doesn't look like we're going to be buying a striker. This Havertz experiment is continuing. So I need to see big money moves in the next window. Hopefully a striker and a winger because we keep buying defenders, midfielders, defenders, more defenders. We brought in Raheem Sterling. He's not good enough. Like, sadly, he might even be better than Trossard and Martinelli as the season progresses, but it's a short-term fix. So we need to go big because if we fall short again, there's going to be many people making excuses, and me, I ain't making no excuses. I've already said it's the league or bust, so guess we'll find out what side of the fence you're on in May, because I've already said it's the league or bust. The fourth takeaway, the next three games. I already mentioned in the preview previously. Bournemouth, Newcastle, Chelsea, Liverpool. Our next four games. Pick the order out, whatever you want to do. I said we needed 9 to 10 points. Now we've already dropped 3, so we can only get 9. Last season, at this time before the international break, we only got 7 points. Drop points, drew against Chelsea, lost against Newcastle. We smashed up Sheffield United, those bums, and Burnley. So now this is a much tougher schedule. So now we're going to have to roll up our sleeves and get results. I don't care how, but if we start dropping points again, you can almost be sure that the title race will be over. If we drop points in 2 more of these games before the international break, Kalas, it's done. Forget about it. So boys, roll up your socks. We're going to war. Next game, Liverpool after Shakhtar. There's no excuses. There's no saying Saliba's not there. we have to win. We must. Because now, where this game could have been drawn if we beat Bournemouth, it's a must win game. Must win. Last takeaway. Mikel Arteta. You got it wrong. You got it wrong. And you're not being brave. You're being a coward. I don't know what the hell you were thinking with that lineup. I don't know what was going on. Partey, Rice, and Marino. Three defensive midfielders, defensive-minded players in the midfield against Bournemouth. It's not as if we was playing Man City. If this was Man City, I'd be like, you know what? Fairs. Fairs. I have no complaints. Fair play. You're trying something different. It's Man City. I get it. But against Bournemouth, we didn't need to see this midfield. This was not the time for this type of game. Because when you put Marino in the 10 position and we press with the 4-4-2, how the hell can he be the furthest player forward with Havertz? He's got no legs. The press was non-existent. How can we press with someone with no legs? This was the game to play Ethan Nwaneri. Energy. We needed energy because we looked lifeless, soulless. It was dead. It was devoid of confidence. Raheem Sterling looked a bit lively, but he got sacrificed. And really and truly, it should have been Trossard because Trossard was the reason why Saliba got sent off. He was the reason why Saliba was even in that position because he played a stupid pass. So, Arteta, be brave. Start the kid. Let's play the proper Arsenal way. None of this defensive, because this is going too far now. It's all right when you're winning games, but when you're playing defensive against Bournemouth, it's not about, it's a mindset. When you're playing these defensive-minded players, what do you expect's going to happen? You ain't going to have no attacking input. So I need to see better from you. And yeah, that's my 5 takeaways. Now, we'll go on to the rest of the fixtures. The game of the weekend, the big one. Liverpool 2, Chelsea 1. Salah and Jones doing the damage and Jackson scoring as well. Mohamed Salah, let's just speak about him briefly. This guy is just phenomenal. He's just, you just know he's a big, big danger. Anytime you see his name on the team sheet, you're like, oh no, this guy can do some sort of damage. And yeah, he got the penalty. He scored it. But that assist to Curtis Jones, that was just the stuff of dreams. That's De Bruyne-esque. I feel like him, De Bruyne, there's only a few players that can play these kind of passes. I'll probably say Odegaard, Trent, Cole Palmer, I've seen him do a few nice passes, but when the pressure is on, Mohamed Salah is a player that you would love on your team. You would love him because he's always a man for the big moments. I don't know how many goal contributions it is against big 6 teams. And like I said in the preview, he will be the difference. I said it. I warned you. He'll be the difference. And I was right. Right. I said 3-1. It was 2-1. Close enough. Another player that I'm give props to, Curtis Jones. Man of the match performance. Salah was the difference maker, but you were phenomenal. Man of the match, all round performance, all round winning duels, carrying the ball. picking the passes at the right time. That is what you want from a midfielder. And there's no way Liverpool should be playing Szoboszlai over Curtis Jones. There's no way. It's got to be McAllister, Gravenberch, and Curtis Jones. It doesn't matter what way you do it, but there's no way that Szoboszlai should be there, because Curtis Jones, he can run around, he can do what Szoboszlai can do, and in the key moment, he got the winning goal. So, big props to you. And Chelsea, in that first half, yeah, they looked a bit toothless. Madueke looked very dangerous, but he had Robertson shook, but he just didn't capitalise. He just didn't capitalise. And Liverpool in that first half, it looked like they was gonna blow Chelsea away. The disallowed goal, that could have been 2-0. Curtis Jones should have scored, should have made it 3-0. It could have literally been 3-0 in that first half. But because it was a rescinded penalty. So, but Chelsea, we have to give them a bit of praise, is they stuck in there. They stuck in there. It could have, but football's not on could haves. And they came out in that second half and Jackson got his goal. That's another player I have to give credit to, because he's someone we all take the mick out of. But this season, I believe that's 5 goals now. He's been a lot more clinical in front of goal. I feel like that might have been his only chance, and he took it. He took it very well. So, well done to you, Nicholas Jackson. You're proving people wrong. You're definitely proving me wrong. I just thought, bam, you missed way too many chances, but you're starting to get more composed in front of goal, and that is what I like to see from a striker. But overall, Chelsea, it weren't a very good performance from them. I'm not gonna buy into this hype that people were saying. I'm not buying what people were selling. It was toothless up front. Midfield, yeah, they had a lot of possession. Defense, if you think about it, weren't too bad defensively. Only little bits of errors. There was just only little moments in this game where you're like, like the goal. What was Reece James doing? It's a bozo moment. Then it's not just one error, it's the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper had no hands for the goal. How can you have no hands? He had no hands twice. Even for the first rescinded penalty. Where was his hands? He's not trying to use his hands. That Robert Sanchez, he's a player that is like, very suspicious. Very suspicious. But I just said Liverpool's attack versus Chelsea's defense will be the difference. And yeah, certainly was the difference. Because Liverpool, even without the ball, they were in control of this game. They were in complete control of this game. There's probably, you know what, probably like about 20 minutes in total in the game where Chelsea were threatening. Some in the first half, some towards the back end of the second half, the last 15 minutes or so. But really and truly, they just didn't look like scoring. And that might be an issue for Chelsea in these big 6 fixtures. Do they have killers at the right moments? Because Cole Palmer, he was an anonymous figure yesterday. He was anonymous. He done absolutely zilch, nothing, nothing. It was the midfield that turned up, the Caicedos, the Lavias, not him. So, Chelsea, back to the drawing board. You can try and take positives. It was a close game in the end. in terms of score, but I never thought for one moment that Liverpool weren't going to win this game. I didn't really feel anything. I was just watching it thinking Chelsea ain't going to score. And they had the half chances, the header, but I just don't know what it is about Chelsea. There's just something to do with that killer touch, that killing edge. They're blitzing these small teams, but when it comes to the big fixtures, the big moments, or maybe it's just Liverpool, because Liverpool seem to have Chelsea's number. They've beaten them in the last three cup finals, and yeah, maybe that's just where it is. Lastly, we got to talk about these referees. The referees, they just can't help themselves. They're always gonna be a talking point. And in this game, they made sure they were a talking point. They told us Saliba's was a red card. Tossing, same thing, no red card. No consistency. Like I said, I don't think either was a red card, but where's your consistency? It's shocking. Shocking from these referees. There was another incident in the match. A Liverpool player shoulder to shoulder. They gave a foul to Chelsea. They literally gave a foul to Chelsea. It was so bad. Another instance, they gave offside. The defender was keeping on, I think it was tossing, by about 5 to 10 yards, and they said offside. There's just so many bad decisions. You can argue, was the step on Sancho a penalty? You can argue, why did he give the penalty that he rescinded, but at least he rescinded it. So the officials, they're just not very good in this league, and I think we might just have to accept it. So the next game of the weekend, we'll go into Wolves 1, Manchester City 2. You just knew Man City were going to be inevitable. It's, certain thing, what do they say? Death, taxes, and Man City breaking hearts. That's the three things that's certain in this life at this moment in time. Strand Larson put Wolves ahead early in this game. When I saw this, I'm like, big mistake. Why scoring so early? We've seen this multiple times this season. But to be fair to Wolves, in this game, they held their own. And Vardio won the goal. He is looking like a excellent signing. I don't know how much it was. Was it 60, 70 million? But it's looking like a bargain. It's looking like a bargain because he's not just doing his defensive duties. He's chipping in with goals and big goals in big moments. So big praise to Vardio. Another player that's probably in for criticism at the start of the season when he first signed last year, but he's shutting most people up. He's doing what needs to be done. And Man City, they have a gem. But this game, Man City, they dominated all the stats. They had 18 corners. So you just knew that Wolves had to just keep concentrated until the final whistle. But just as they did against Arsenal, it was a corner. It's not just Arsenal that is corner FC. There's other people trying to join the party, and Man City, That is the second time in the 90th minute they've broken hearts from a corner kick. And who else other than John Stones? Again, the same player. He's doing an excellent job. Defensively, yeah, you might have question marks for Man City, but all in all, they're doing their job and getting the 3 points. So that's Wolves 1, Man City 2. And also, that was the right decision. That was an offside. So you can't really have no complaints. But Wolves, that's now 6 of the top 8 they've played. I believe they've only got 1 point, 1 draw, which, quite frankly, is not good enough at this level. Next game, they have Brighton, so that will be 7 of the top 9 that they've played. They've only got 1 point, a draw against Nottingham Forest. So they're going to need to start picking up wins sooner rather than later, because the manager will pay the price. Yes, it's been a tough start. Like I said, 7 of the top 9 in the first 9 games, along with Brentford and Nottingham Forest, who are not easy games, and those were both away from home. So you gotta say they've had a tough start, but if you don't start picking up points in this league, if you get to, say, game week 10 and you still have no wins, relegation will start to become a reality. It will. Next game, Tottenham 4, West Ham United 1. And this is one of those sayings in football, a game of 2 halves. First half, Tottenham, they were probably, you could argue, second best for large parts of it. And West Ham, they took the lead. Kudos. Excellent goal from West Ham's point of view. And Tottenham, defensively, this is a big problem. Their defense are shambolic, especially the 2 fullbacks. They can't defend. There's no one gonna tell me they're in combined 11 and this and that, because they just can't defend. And for that first goal, that was an absolute disgrace. It was diabolical. I don't know how many chances Tottenham had, first of all, to clear the ball. So it weren't just Udogie. But once it did get to Bowen and he's 1v1 with Udogie, there's no way you let him into the box. No way. But somehow he's let him have a free run into that box and they got punished. Bowen puts it across the box and there's no one on the back post. That's usually where the right back would be. Pedro Porro marking the left winger. Kudos! But no, he's not there. Brennan Johnson's also slow to the party. Kudos buries it away. 1-0 West Ham. But lucky for Tottenham, they got back into the game, and who else? Dejan Kulusevski. He was the man of the match of that game. He was causing havoc. Havoc he was causing. Non-stop for 90 minutes. West Ham, they're probably thinking, thank fuck that guy's not playing against us no more, because he was causing problems, doing whatever he wanted at will. And nice finish, low. Could the keeper could have done better? Maybe, but in off both posts, and there it was, the equalizer. So, West Ham, Tottenham gets the half-time 1-1. You're thinking, what's going to happen? And Postecoglou, big balls, hooks Maddison at half-time, swaps him for Pape Mate Sarr. And it didn't take long. Bissouma got the second goal of the game. Nice finish. And then, not too long later, the third goes in, a known goal. And then you're at this stage of thinking, this is excellent from your manager. That's exactly what you need to do. When you spot an issue, how quick can you change? It doesn't matter if a player's going to be upset about the decision. If it benefits the team, then you have to make the right decision. And that's exactly what Ange done, and was quickly rewarded. 2 goals, 3-1 up, and it weren't long until they got the fourth. Son Heung-min done about 12 stepovers and Todibo didn't know what to do, and Son just tucked it away. Now the game is over. The game was done. I said in the preview this was going to be Spurs' front five versus West Ham's front four. But I was wrong, because West Ham only had 2 threats, Bowen and Kudus. So they couldn't even necessarily get completely at Spurs' defence, because it's 4v2. So they're not going to be able to do them every time. And that is probably why Kudus said, fuck this shit. He said, fuck this West Ham. An incident happened. Him and Van der Ven's on the floor. He starts kicking him. You're thinking, oh, calm down, son. This is already red card-ish. You could even get a red for these kicks alone. Van der Ven gets up. I don't know what he says. He's going like this to him. What does Kudus do? Wah! Ja! That was an African slap. For those of you with African parents, you know already that slap, most likely from your father. Ja! Foolish man! You stupid boy! Small boy! Hey! But that wasn't enough. Richarlison caught an elbow. I don't know why. He was on the floor crying as well. I didn't even notice he was on the pitch. And then Papa Matasar comes over. Another one trying to do this. Kudus, he said, "You right there, mate?" Ja! He tried again. I think that one, it might have just grazed his face. He was on a spree. He could have got 3 red cards, but he's only getting a 3-match ban. That's all. I won't be surprised if this gets upgraded, because this was a man out of control. He said this West Ham is no good. Where is Arsenal? Where are the other clubs? I need to get out. And this is his last season at West Ham. There's no way he's staying there. He's too good for West Ham. There's no way he should even stay there. I can see in his demeanor what he done there. That is a man that has had enough. He has had enough. Every game having to take on 4 players. People trying to kick him. He said, fuck this. So that's how it ended. But West Ham and Lopetegui, they just... What's that? Somebody smell like shit. They don't pass this smell test. That stench is that lingering one. It's like when someone farts in a room and they leave. And you're like, yo, what did you do that? Yo, Yo, what's that, brother? That's West Ham. They stink. And Lopetegui, he's on thin ice. If these performances, it's not even the results, it's the performances. It's like they're giving in. They're literally kicking the bucket and saying, fuck this shit. I'm done with this. And this is only early on in his reign. So I predict big, big trouble for West Ham. Next game, Manchester United 2, Brentford 1. This, there's, like I said, there's not much to say about Man United these days. But what I will say is, Rashford, he's starting to pick up form. I've seen it for a number of games, and he's not looking too bad. Maybe the new manager, if there is a new manager, because we keep hearing it, 2 games to save his job. Maybe that's who's gonna get the best out of Rashford. Højlund, he also looked very good as well. Nice link up play, and the finish, that was magnificent for the winning goal. Man United, they almost were masters of their own downfall because De Ligt, he had a busted head for so long, and usually you just take these players off, or you put on a proper bandage so it's not dripping down his face. Why didn't he just put a bandage on? I don't get it. He came off. That's how Brentford scored, but lucky in that second half, Man United, they were the dominant team and they deserved the 3 points. Garnacho, excellent finish from that Rashford ball. The Rashford ball, another magnificent pass, just like, not, yeah, you could say it's like Salah's. They were both beautiful passes. So I gotta give praise where praise is due. And Ten Hag survived for another week. It's like Judgment Day. It's literally like Judgment Day. Every week we come and we're here again. We'll be here again next week for another Ten Hag in or Ten Hag out debate, because this is just, it's quite frankly pathetic. They might as well just say, look, we're giving this guy the job till Christmas at the very least, but or the end of the season. But yeah, that's Man United. But all in all, they deserve the 3 points. So well done, Man United. Next game, El Relegationio. Haha. So Southampton 2, Leicester City 3. Oh, this was the goal fest. This was the goal fest. Southampton, they took the lead. They went 2 goals up in that first half. By far the better side. By far the better side in that first half. But football, football is a game that works in such mysterious ways, because it was 2-0 and Southampton, they could have got a penalty. Jordan Ayew, remember the name, Jordan Ayew. He's pulling some big black brother. I don't know who he was. He's got a hold of his shirt. He's holding the shirt for 5 seconds. This is a penalty. What else? Like, it's like the only way you get a penalty in this day and age is if you fall on the floor dramatically and start rolling. Because what else is a penalty? What else? Like, what do you have to do? I don't get it. And do you know why it makes it even more baffling? I'll talk about that later on. So, second half, they could have got that third if they got the penalty, but knowing their luck, they might not even have scored the penalty because they missed it previously against Man United. But they brought on that Fatawo. Oof, that boy Fatawo. Hey, He looks dangerous. Dangerous. He got them back into the game. Great assist. Put it across for Buonanotte on a plate. Magnificent. Then there was one shot. That shot, if that went in, it would have been one of the goals of the season. He has a sweet left foot. It's a peach of a left foot. He hit the bar, and then the turning point in the game. Aaron Ramsdale makes a great save. I can't remember who he made the save from, but then Jamie Vardy, he's gonna score. But at the time, I didn't see what happened. I just thought, oh, it's a block. I thought, oh, it's a block. Great block, great defending. But the VAR, they've seen Fraser is pulling Jamie Vardy's shirt. He's denied him a clear goal scoring opportunity. This is a clear because it was an open goal, and he's pulled his shirt for long enough for another defender to block the ball. Oh, VAR caught him on camera, but where was the consistency? Like I said, Jordan Ayew was pulling a man's shirt in the box. Nothing. So, yeah, a disgrace. And who else was going to score the penalty? He was never going to miss. Jamie Vardy just smashes it. That's how Jamie Vardy takes penalties. It's no accuracy. It's just 99 power. Just smash anywhere. Wherever it hits, it hits. He's just aiming for the goal. And that was 2-2. Now Southampton down to 10 men. You're thinking, surely not, man. They ain't gonna do a bold job. They're not gonna do it ever. Surely. How many teams have been 2 goals up? Even Arsenal were 2 goals up against Leicester, but somehow got away with it. But yeah, it got to the 97th minute, and the man who should have given away a penalty, Jordan Ayew. Football, you just can't make it up. This is like the perfect script. The man who should give away the penalty is the man who got the 98th minute win. Oh, Southampton, but when your luck is out, your luck is out. And Leicester, you're showing heart. And that is how you will stay in this league. If you continue to show this heart, you will not be going down. Because you fought from 2 goals back from down against Arsenal, and now you've done it again. But this time, you've got your reward. 3 points. Very, very good from Leicester City. The next relegation battle, Ipswich versus Everton. There's not much to say in this game. Like, goals from Ndai and Will Keane. But I'm going to talk about 2 things in this game. Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Like, this guy's not a serious footballer. Like, this guy's not a serious striker. How many one-on-ones did I see this guy miss? Against Aston Villa. Now, like, he's literally trying to cost Everton points. Like, it's getting ridiculous. Why can't you finish your dinner? Like, seriously, you had that one season, the biggest purple patch. Arsenal were linked with you. Oh my days. If we bought Dominic Calvert-Lewin, oh my days. And if he was doing this, oh, I'd be pulling my hair out. I'd want him gone. I'd want this guy gone. But yeah, Everton, it didn't really make a difference because, like I said, Ndai Will Keane got the goals, and Ipswich, they're in big trouble. Big, big, big trouble because they are playing well, but they're not getting the results. Me, I was thinking the win was coming. I thought this was the game. And one thing I can say is Ipswich, you've let me down, man. You proper let me down, Ipswich. So Everton going further and further away from that relegation zone. Yeah, so big ups to them. Fulham 1, Aston Villa 3. Fulham took the lead early on. Leno for the assist for Jimenez, and they said that is 10 goals in his last 12 starts. I'm so happy for Raul Jimenez that he's back scoring goals because, yeah, as I've said before, with that injury that he got with the head clash with David Luiz, I thought that was it. He's finished. But now, at least he's back playing football and scoring goals, and he seems to have found the perfect manager in Marco Silva to get the best out of him. He had a former Portuguese manager in Nuno Espirito Santo, and now he's got another Portuguese manager, Marco Silva. So they are getting the best out of him. But Fulham, this game, you could say they're their own worst enemy because Aston Villa, they got back into this game. This was, you could say, quite a very even game. Morgan Rogers got a goal, massive deflection. They weren't even in the lead for too long. And then in the second half, Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins, he's back. He's back. He's found his goal scoring boots. And I said he's going to score against Everton. That was the game where he got back in the groove. I believe he got two that day. And now he can't stop scoring. That is 6 for the season. And I don't think he scored for the first 3 games. So he's on red hot form. He's back. If you're in FPL, get him in. Now is the time. Or maybe it was the Everton game that you should have got him in. But Fulham, this Fulham, I don't know if it was at 1-1. It might have been at 1-1 or 2-1. I'm not sure. They had the penalty. Pereira. When people take these penalties that are just pathetic, P rollers, you're trying to be too smart. Yeah, it might look good when the goalie goes the wrong way. But when the goalie just goes the right way and saves it, it just makes you look pathetic. And that is what you done. And you arguably cost your team in this game because that was where the momentum swung. And not too long after that, Joachim Andersen gets a red card. Fulham 2-1 down to 10 men. The day was going from bad to worse. Then Issa Diop comes on and he conspired against his own team. It was unlucky, but it was very, very silly. He scored the own goal, whipped in across the box, and he just stuck a leg out. It's like a lazy leg, and took it past Bert Leno. 3-1, game over. Philogene, he wanted to get in on the act. He got himself sent off. He got 2 yellow cards in a very short period of time. Reece Nelson cooked him and he had enough. He just fouled him. Second yellow, off you go. Very, very naive, but you're going to learn from that. Last game, Newcastle 0, Brighton 1. Danny Welbeck with the only goal of the game. And this is a man in the form of his life. He's already equaled last season's tally, and I'm very happy for Welbeck. I just hope that whatever injury was sustained to him isn't gonna keep him out because he was stretchered off in this game. So I hope that he's back for the next game because it looked like a little knee in the back, maybe, I don't know. a dead, I don't know, bruv. You can't get a dead back. But Alexander Isak in this game, he had the one-on-one, and that's someone that I'd usually bank on scoring one-on-one. Very good at one-on-ones. But this season, I don't know where it is. I think he might only have 2 goals. Like this season, injuries, potential stalling of contracts. Is his head all there? Because it doesn't seem like it's all there to me. So, yeah, that's probably one to watch. One to watch if he stays at Newcastle past this season. And Brighton, very good start to the season. Solid away performance. They're now up to, I think, fifth, I believe. So, very good from them. So, guys, that's the roundup from all this week's fixtures. Well, there's a game currently going on. I'm not sure what the score is. Nottingham Forest and Crystal Palace. I'm gonna hazard a guess. I'm gonna say 0-0. And here's the predictions from last week. So I haven't had the best week. I got the Tottenham result right. I went with 3-2 as 4-1. Villa, Man United, Newcastle, I got all those results wrong. I went too far off those, about 1 goal swings, but still wrong nonetheless. I said Leicester will win 3-1, 3-2, not the worst. I thought Ipswich would win. They let me down. Now they kind of lost my backing. The Bournemouth and Arsenal game. I said 3-0 to Arsenal. Got that one bloody wrong, didn't I? Man City, exact score. The Liverpool 2-1. I said 3-1. And it looks like Nottingham Forest are winning 1-0. So that one is currently right, as I said, 2-1. And now let's take a look at the table. So as it stands, Liverpool sitting pretty at the top of the table, 21 points. Man City just a point behind. We have Arsenal and Villa 3 points behind, losing pace. Brighton shooting up the table to 5th. Chelsea down from 4th to 6th. So that's the top half of the table. Tottenham 7th. And let's go down all the way. Wolves and Southampton still on 1 point. Crystal Palace and Ipswich still lingering down there. No wins. That's 4 teams still with no wins. And that strengthens my case. I think we need to start relegating 4 teams. That way, it'll make the league even more competitive, because I don't think relegating 3 is enough. Let me know if you agree with me. Do you want to see 4 sides relegated? Just like we have 4 sides in the Champions League, we should have 4 sides getting kicked out the Premier League. But guys, that's been the Game Week 8 preview. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe to the channel. And I'm gone, people. Bless.